Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome back. It's time for another Pounds for Purrs workout, and today was deadlift and the press. So 4 triples and 1 double for each. Deadlifts are up first, and they felt really smooth for the most part. I took my time, especially with the first couple sets, just to make sure that everything was right and dialed in, and they pretty much were. So after that, I started to add a little bit of speed to it, but otherwise 425 was feeling relatively light. And after I do all triples next time, then I'm going to go up to 435 and pretty much just rinse and repeat, going back down to doubles and then adding a rep every workout. So with the second triple, kind of same deal, just making sure everything's locked in, making sure my starting position is where it needs to be, and these reps tend to go a little bit faster as I keep going. And again, the first triple, I took my time on purpose just to make sure everything was feeling right and everything was together. And then after that, I decided to have a little bit of fun and add a little bit of speed, especially coming off the floor. Which is something I always try to do, especially when I go heavier and I'm above 85, even 90% of my 1 rep max, just to be able to lift a little bit more, to be able to be a little bit more explosive, especially getting the first part of the pull done. Because a lot of times if you're not locked in and you're not completely focused, especially for that first part of the pull off the floor, that's where you can run into some problems, especially with struggling with a lockout. But even then, so bar position, bar path, those things can get greatly affected depending on how the bar starts moving. And then after this is my double. So here's the 4th triple, and you'll see that there's a little bit of speed added to it. So there we go, and I just stand right up. And even though they may not be visually as fast as the first couple when I'm more fresh, that's the intention, is to put a little bit more to it. And since everything was right, I didn't have to worry about fixing anything, adjusting anything, and I was honestly pretty happy. Now, I really want to throw a shout out to 2 women. Actually, you see them in this video. Yeah, the one right next to me doing barbell thrusts, and the one in the far corner, I think she was doing a couple of other exercises. I think she did thrusts, and I think she squatted and did pull-ups as well. The reason why I'm pointing them out is because they were doing big barbell movements, doing a lot of good strength training, and I think it's very well deserved to point that out when I see it, because professionally it's awesome to see, just because they're going to get so many great benefits, and I hope they just continue doing it and make good progress. Now, the press. Today I'm especially happy with the press, and it's not because they moved really quickly or anything like that. It's really just because I was starting to be able to put a little bit more of a pause on the chest, and the strength just felt like it was all there. So again, even though these aren't like speed reps or fast reps or anything like that, I believe 205 has moved faster before, but today it wasn't about that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining about the bar speed. I'm actually pretty happy about it, but the main thing is a solid pause on the chest. Sometimes, just like a bench press, you'll have those who will bounce into their presses to be able to get more reps, or they'll cut them short, and significantly short. In fact, they'll start with the bar across their face as opposed to on the clavicles or even on the upper part of the chest. And then for accessories, I did a snatch push press. Did sets of 5 starting at 135 and got all the way up to 175, and that felt pretty good. And then after that, I decided to do a pull-up, and I did 3 sets of 7, and by that 3rd set I was finished. So could I have maybe tried to get another set out? Maybe. I probably would have stopped around rep 4 or 5 or something like that, but I was happy to get a 3x7 with just a regular pull-up. Alright, 4th triple. Now these last 2 sets I'm especially proud of, because at this point I knew that this was going to be an easy day for the press, and so as you can see, a really significant pause. No temptation to just jump it right back up, but keeping it on the chest. And for the double, I think it's even more prominent. Let's check that out, actually, because this is actually the first time I'm reviewing the footage. But if I remember correctly, for the double, I exaggerated a bit. Something I don't think I've ever been able to do with 205. But there's the first one. Oh yeah, that's perfect. That's what I like to see. Alright guys, thank you so much. And remember, adopt, don't chop.